Swoop, no see nothing.
Welcome back to the Dr. Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Magic Square MS-B60. It's Pterosaur, their version on a very G1-esque Swoop, very cartoon version of Swoop. And yes, I did get this at Shows You Store, but I have a link down below where you can get yours. Remember, TH in the Support the Reviewer section if you want to help the channel out. But we're going to take a look at this. We're going to compare it to New Age, compare it to Vintage G1, and we're going to do the transformation, all that good stuff. And we only have one left to complete the Magic Square team after this, and maybe they'll start on Masterpiece Dinos. That's the rumor that I'm hearing. So this might be a prelude to what a Masterpiece Dino could be. But let's get and take a look at the Magic Square Legend Scale Pterosaur Swoop coming up. Here's the box, G1-esque. Would have been nice with a little window in it, but no window. They used to do windows. Got tech specs, you got a little artwork of the bird, and there's a side, and it's illustration, not the actual product. Good stuff. Here's right out of the box, except he's got a sword in his hand, and he's got a different hand here. So he's got a splayed hand, which has articulation to it. But I think the way I'm going to do this one, let's just jump right into articulation and go from there, because there are a couple things with this. So head side to side and up to down. On the ball joint, not much down. He does have some stuff to look down to. He does have a butterfly. I keep calling that bicep fly. Okay, and then we go over here past the 90, 360 if the wings weren't in the way. Bicep swivel is a little tight. Bicep swivel is bicep swivel. We got to pull it down to get the full bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. I did pull those down. They kind of seated back up there with messing with it. Waist swivel. Now, the way they achieve the swivel, and do they have the ab crunch? Because this is usually a pretty hefty ab crunch. The way they achieve that is splitting the beak. Faux parts. Again, something that people are probably going to have a slight issue with. Faux parts. Let's see what's going on with that. It has a hiding hip flap that seems to get stuck, which is the downside to a hiding hip flap. I have to push that in. Appears to get a little stuck. And then you go back to about there, a lot of stuff in the way, and past the 90 right here. And thigh swivel, double jointed knee, like Magic Square does. Gets you some great poses. Especially with that stand, you can do some really great poses with this guy. And then the foot, up and down, side to side, quite a bit of stuff. You can fold it up in there if you want to, part of the transformation. But some nice articulation with it, but it does bring about some issues people might have. I don't have a problem with faux parts. I don't have a problem. This is how you have to do seekers if you want to. You have to do the faux parts with the seekers if you want a waist swivel and seekers too. His accessories, he does come with a standard hand, which I'll have to put back in there when we do transformation, and another splayed hand. So two splayed hands with the articulation. He does have the sword. Also, you have, pull the sword out, you can get the gun out, and you can put the gun in his hand like so. And he comes with a stand that you could put in his rear, in arrears, if you want to get him into some sort of a pose where he's doing some crazy stuff. Mostly it's going to be for his alt mode, but you can use it in this if you want to. You probably have to make it go up a little higher to balance, but it's more or less going to be something used for his alt mode than for this. And it's not the greatest stand in the world. I mean, are the stands ever really all that great? But I just don't want it maxed out all the way to the top. There's got to be a way to balance it and make it still work. But yeah, we get the point with the stand. Haste makes waste. This is what I was trying to do with it, because for my shelf, I don't have the space to have it all the way up to the top. I'm already planning out my display. That's how you set it up. You counterbalance it, because this is already going this direction. Have it go that direction. Counterbalance the stand to make it where he will work on it. But I'm not going to do it in bot mode. It's going to be in alt mode, but that's what I use the stand for. Most people will. Alright, here he is next to the New Age version of Swoop over here, who's holding a gun, not the sword, which I probably should have put the sword in his hand. And we have the Vintage G1, and you can tell how far we've come from, where we're going. I still loved the G1 figure when I was a kid, and it was one of those that took me a while to track down. I had to trade uh, one of my mom's friend's kids for it, and that was a great day to get my first Swoop ever. But there is that red that the toy came out in versus the cartoon, which I'm not sure if we'll see a red chest one from Magic Square. If so, I'll get it because I do kind of chase the toy look a little bit too, and I should have got it in the New Age. And New Age is about the same size as G1. This one's bigger, as you can see, and New Age has, and it's probably not showing up on here very well, but a nice sheen to it because it's painted all over and very little paint, just accents painted on this guy. And compared to some other decent sized Legends bots, I mean, it's Prime, towers over Prime, towers over Hoist, so good size, but at the same time, and I'm just going to be honest because there's no reason to be any other thing but honest, I think that New Age scales well enough too. I'd be fine with New Age also. Works for me depending on how you look at your collection. Both are fine, but again, I like the New Age, but I think that Magic Square, the design is just a little better, even though the New Age is great. So you can't go wrong with either one, and New Age has more paint. But I don't know. I'm liking it. I'm looking forward to what they do with the dinos. Hopefully they got like a shiny sheen to it, like they're doing with their Bruticus. Try to make transformation as painless as possible. It's not really bad, but you always start with the hands and tucking in the hands, and it's easy. It's like, oh, okay, this is easy transformation. Gotcha. Fantastic. Then we want to turn this head, lift up these parts here, pull the backpack back, and then we're going to start undoing this chest region, and we do need to separate down. Let's go ahead and flip. Let's get this all the way up. We do want to flip the side pieces down there on a hinge, but they have to come up and down. So it's just kind of odd how like tight it is to get this up so that it'll clear itself to go down. Pretty tight. Pretty tight. And then we will rotate all of this, and this stays up here. The head goes into its beak. Then we got to do a little bit of work to this area. Open this up, and then flip. I think these pieces here flip in. That one flipped in on its own while I was messing with it. So there we go. There's that. This is going to come up here and tab in, and it's a mushroom peg. They do like the mushroom pegs. We got to push that in. This is going to come down and tab in to what it's effectively appears to be doing is shortening the chest a little bit. And it's a pretty tight little tab that goes into it, and then shorten the arms, and then there's a slot and a tab for the arms to go into, which that one's not one to tab in super tight. So one tab's super tight and the other tab is not working at all, as tabs should work. Okay, well, then we put this here. We need to flip this up into the waist. You kind of lose waist articulation on that. What a waste! Fold this down on the back here. And then your wings are going to come up, but you're going to like double expand the wings. And then while you're back here, now the wings should also tab in. No, they didn't. Okay. Then we open up the tail, bring the tail out, and we have some stuff to do with the lower legs. So we're going to start with opening this up which will open that up. We will bring this down, which this actually also is on a bit of a slider. We'll do that at the end. This brings this out, that goes down, and then this is going to open up in the back here to tuck down just a little bit, and then we have to bring out this little foot piece here, and I got to get, I might just use a little tool on that. There's no paint, so nothing to worry about. And then fold all of this into here. As you're folding it in, it tabs into place. You can fold this heel spur out on it. And then this is going to come up and tabs into the slot right there. Tab it in, and then believe there's a slider on this somewhere to be found. Anyway, we'll just go roll with it like this for now. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side of the foot. Yes, the slider is right here. It's built into the waist. That is going to make this parallel and correct. Wanted to make sure that was correct before I did the other leg. And then open this up, and we will untab that so that this will slide down. So there's a heel spur for that. We will open this back up right here to condense this in just a bit. And then we will open this up. And I guess, I'm going to see if I can get to it without a tool. I feel like a tool when I use a tool. That tabs in, this folds up. Getting a little off the camera there. And then this is going to fold over, and interesting, this will tab in. Let's find the tab and the slot. And then double check that. Also need to make sure that this is pulled out right there. And this doesn't tab in very well for me. And I thought there'd be like a second tab somewhere to hold it in place, but it doesn't. So it is what it is. And we have Swoop. I'm going to see if I can do something about that arm a little bit, and then we'll be right back. So here he is in his alt mode. Now I did put him in his stand a different way than I probably should have, because of the fact that I put the sword in there. I'm trying to figure out weapon storage. So I'm using his sword as like an extra tail. But a good looking Swoop in alt mode. I mean, Swoop's probably the easiest of all of the Dinobots. One of the easiest G1 characters to make and to transform and all of that. But no place for his sword. I kind of thought it would be a nice looking tail. Put it in there. But that's the plug that you plug this into. I just have it in a different hole. Stuck it in a different hole for him to use the stand also. So to make it on a better version of the stand, you unplug where I have that, plug this in, and just the whole sword in the stand connector won't work right if you change that, but pretty good looking. You don't need the stand either, so let's get that out of the way. He can stand on his own two little feet there and perch, and he can perch okay. Will say I'm kind of shocked that Magic Square, the tabs are usually super tight, and this perch, it'll stand fine. It's just trying to rotate it and stand. Might need a little bit more play. Yeah, you can play around with the legs. Arch him just a little bit forward so that he's distributes his weight a little bit better. He'll stand just fine. He has some ankle. Now he's going to the forward. But standing on a shelf, he'll be fine. I'm not good with the rotations. As you see, I don't do the rotations that much. But stands just fine. Looks pretty good. And yeah, it's a good looking bot. good looking alt mode. And the only real issue I have are the tabs. I'm used to them being super duper tight, and with this, I'm shocked how loose that arm tab is, and also the legs coming untabbed to the back when I manipulate it, but that's part of the design. But overall, still a good looking swoop. The guns do the whole thing in the wings. Wings have articulation in 2 points. I think 3. 3 points of articulation so that you can get some more stuff going on with the wings if you so choose. And that's great. That works. That gets the job done. However you want your wings to be articulated to. But a little bit of paint on the eyes, paint carried over on the chest. Most of the rest of it's just dyed plastic. A little on the legs with the stripe, and that is, I think, is it painted? No, I guess that is painted. But yeah, pretty good looking overall. And so now, I guess we need to get into a little bit of comparisons. Here we go, comparing him to the G1, and I will admit this, that I do not want to tuck the arms in. I have a hard time getting arms out on these, and I do want this one in bot mode. I got another 12 of them. I think this is my best one, though, so it's why I showed this one. Don't want to dig any other ones out, but they do carry over a lot of stuff, but this one looks super cartoon. This one is toy. I wish they would do a toy. I wish we could get all the toy look too. But hey, they went cartoon, they went full tune, and they didn't go back. So that's just the way it is. And it looks good. It's very, very inspired by the G1. All right, so I'm going to close this out with the team. And I've been wanting to fix Sludge's neck for about a week. And I'm like, hey, this is a good opportunity to do it. But what do I think about this swoop? I think that it's right in line with the rest of them. They look good. This looks good. A very, very, very cartoon accurate portrayal of Swoop, and he looks good. I'm disappointed in the tabs. They're weaker than usual, but I do see this as being a very, very good opportunity for the Masterpiece. They scale these up to Masterpiece. It's going to be fantastic. I look forward to it. And again, you can get this Swoop, this Pterosaur, this Magic Square at Shozy Store right now. And if you go, of course, support your viewer on the main page, helps the channel out. And I think that it's a good figure overall. Is it better than Magic Square? There's pluses and minuses, and it's the usual song and dance when it comes to Magic Square paint. I like this design. If this was painted or even had a gloss over it, it would have been a little bit nicer. But I think they'll do that in Masterpiece. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Tydarium Hanger out.